You know that moment at the doctor's office where you hand over a little vial? It seems so simple, right? But that's just the very first step on an incredible, high-tech journey. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and explore the hidden world of your medical test.
So you hand over that sample, and a few days later, poof, your doctor has answers. But have you ever stopped to wonder what happens in between, in that mysterious gap? Where does your sample even go? Who looks at it? And how on earth do they turn a few drops of fluid into a number that could literally change your life? Well, that is the mystery we are solving today.
Okay, so first things first, let's meet the experts who work behind the scenes. And I'm not talking about just one person in a lab coat. No, this is a whole team of highly specialized medical detectives, and each one is trained to look for totally different clues inside your sample.
Let's start with pathology. Think of a pathologist as a master mechanic for the human body. Seriously. When there's a big problem, they aren't just looking at the dashboard warning lights. No, they get right into the engine itself. They take a tiny piece of tissue, what we call a biopsy, and look at it under a microscope to see the actual physical damage a disease is causing. It's direct, hands-on evidence.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. If pathology is all about the engine's solid parts, clinical pathology is all about the fluids that keep it running. These are the experts who test your blood, your urine, even spinal fluid. They're checking the chemical makeup of everything. It's like they're analyzing the engine oil and the coolant levels to find problems you'd never be able to see with the naked eye.
And this table just lays it all out perfectly. You've got pathology on one side, focused on tissues, clinical pathology on the other, focused on fluids. But the real powerhouse here, the thing that brings it all together, is the umbrella over both of them, laboratory diagnostics. It isn't just another specialty, it's the entire system, the whole shebang, designed to turn any sample into a reliable, trustworthy diagnosis.
All right, so we've met our detectives. Now let's follow the evidence. We're going to trace the step-by-step journey of one single sample, all the way from the moment it leaves your body to the moment it becomes a meaningful result.
This, right here, is the fundamental pipeline of modern medicine, and the lab is the absolute beating heart of it all. It all starts with you, of course, but then your sample enters what is basically a data factory. Its whole job is to turn your biological material into cold, hard, objective numbers. And that data is what gives your doctor the power to move past just guesswork and make a confident call on how to get you the right treatment.
Now, if you're picturing a room full of scientists, hunched over bubbling beakers and looking very serious, you're in for a surprise. The modern medical lab is less like a workshop and way more like a gleaming, automated factory that's been engineered for incredible speed, total safety, and most important of all, pinpoint accuracy.
Let's just take something as simple as labeling a sample. In the old days, you'd have a handwritten label. But what if it's smudged? What if someone couldn't read the handwriting? That's a tiny error with potentially massive consequences. But today, the second your sample is taken, bam, a unique barcode is printed and stuck right on it. That single piece of automation pretty much eliminates human error and makes sure your sample is tracked perfectly every step of the way.
And this is such a crucial point. You can have the most perfect sample in the world, but it's basically worthless if the process isn't perfect too. Real accuracy isn't just about the one machine that runs the test. It's about the entire lab ecosystem. We're talking about the air filtration, the temperature controls, the automated conveyor belts, the perfectly calibrated equipment. Everything has to work together to protect the integrity of that result.
And the benefits of all this automation are just huge. It's a win for safety, right? Less human contact means less risk of contamination or infection. It's a win for speed. Samples are literally zipping through pneumatic tubes and along conveyor belts to get to the right analyzer in seconds. And maybe, most critically, it's a huge win for expertise because it frees up those brilliant human specialists to focus their brain power on the really complicated cases that need their judgment.
So the machines have done their work. They've been breathtakingly fast and precise. And what's the output? A string of numbers. But a number all by itself is pretty meaningless. So how does that raw data actually become a diagnosis? This is the final crucial step. We've got to crack the code.
The secret decoder ring for this whole process is something called a reference range. For pretty much every test you can imagine, scientists have painstakingly figured out the range of values that are considered normal for a healthy person. This range becomes the yardstick, the baseline that your personal result gets measured against. Let's make this crystal clear with an example. Say the normal healthy reference range for a glucose test is somewhere between 70 and 100. Then your result comes back and it's 150. Well, seeing your number fall so clearly outside that normal range is the first critical signal. It doesn't instantly scream a diagnosis,
but it tells your doctor, hey, pay attention. This is where we need to look closer.
So you might be asking, where do these normal ranges even come from? Well, it all comes down to statistics and the beautiful predictability of biology. For a lot of tests, most healthy people's results cluster right around an average number, with fewer and fewer people way out at the high or low ends. And when you graph that, you get the classic bell curve. That reference range is simply designed to capture the middle 95% of that curve, giving us a powerful, evidence-based definition of what's statistically normal.
But, and this is so important, normal is not a one-size-fits-all thing. A perfectly healthy result for a 20-year-old athlete could be a huge red flag for a 70-year-old. These ranges are always adjusted based on things like your age, your gender, and other factors. A truly great doctor doesn't just see the number, they see the number in the full context of you.
You know, this quote just nails the magic of this whole thing. It really is a transformation. The system takes something purely biological, just a few milliliters of your blood, and through this incredible integrated process, it converts it into its most powerful form, meaningful medical data.
And that, right there, is the ultimate goal of this entire hidden world. It's all about giving your doctor objective, reliable, hard data. It's about replacing hunches and guesswork with solid evidence so they can make the best possible decisions to protect and improve your health. So the next time you're in that clinic and you watch that barcode get slapped onto that vial, maybe you'll see it a little differently. You'll know it's not just a routine test. It's the starting pistol for an incredible journey through a world of automation, expert analysis, and statistical power, all working together to tell the unique story of your health.